Merry meet and welcome. Welcome to the realms of mysticism, the occult, and magic, where your possibilities are only limited by your imagination. Welcome to the Witch's Cauldron and discover the knowledge you seek. Gather round the cauldron and even stay for a spell. Brightest blessings to you. Merry meet, Virgo, and welcome to the Witch's Cauldron. This is Paula with your January 2023 tarot reading. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. So if this one does not resonate with you, check out the other placements in your birth chart, and you may want to go watch those videos as well. I'm going to start off, Virgo. Here is your card from the Barbieri Zodiac Oracle by Barbara Moore, and you are ruled by Mercury. And as at the time of this recording, Mercury is in retrograde. So Virgo, like Gemini, you could really be feeling off kilter and in the ish because your ruling planet is in retrograde right now and will be for another, week or so. It started December 28th, 2022. We are going to start off with a card from the Moonology Oracle deck. This is one of my favorite Oracle decks. And we have the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. And then we are going to go to the Moonology Manifestation deck. And Virgo, for you is the full moon in Gemini. Embrace the flow of life. This is kind of like just letting go. Like I used to say way back in the day when I was a Christian, let go and let God. Well, now I change it up a little bit. Let go and let the divine. Okay? Let the divine guide things for you. That the tough things you have gone through have been for a reason. The tough things that the collective has gone through the past 3 years is for a reason, a higher purpose. And we're all in the process of leveling up as the collective. And quite honestly, it's been a painful process because we're just not accustomed to a higher vibrational way of thinking and acting for the most part. So let's actually get into the tarot part of your reading, Virgo, and let's see what's going on. This spread that I use for my 30-day outlooks is called the 13 Moons Spread. This was taught to me by the former head high priest of the trad where I trained. Okay, the reading is based on the pentagram. In other words, we have water, fire, earth, air, spirit. Okay? And then 3 cards across the middle for ish the universe wants you to know. One thing to know about me is I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So if you want unicorns, fart, and glitter, then this is not the tarot reading for you. I tell you everything, the good, bad, and the downright ugly. So over here in water, these are your relationships. And that's not only like love relationships, it is also relationships with your family, with your friends, with your co-workers, your neighbors, people that you come in contact with in general. And it's also about your emotional state. And sometimes it's about things that come to you in a dream state as well. So let's start this off. You have the King of Pentacles in the upright. If you are in a relationship, a love relationship, it's showing stability. And if you are not currently in a relationship, this is, from an emotional standpoint, maintaining grounding, having that sense of stability and security. It's also having the discipline, particularly right now, Virgo, since Mercury is in retrograde, the discipline to kind of think before you speak, because right now things can really get blown up due to misunderstandings, and you have the self discipline to kind of think about your words before they're coming out. Now, this is kind of interesting. The Empress in reverse. One in the upright is like abundance, and this one in the reverse is almost like lack. You may feel like there is a block to a relationship or an inaction. The thing about the Suit of Pentacles, it's very, because of the stability, it's a very slow moving energy. So you may be wanting to level up a relationship, and the other person is kind of like pumping the brakes, saying, whoa, wait a minute. But it can also be allowing fear to motivate you, and your fear of not being independent. In other words, this is you feeling like you're beholden or you depend on others. So this could even relate to a work situation where you relied on somebody else to collaborate with you or come together with you, and things just didn't happen. And you're kind of in a sense of loss. But this is a very healing energy. When the Five of Cups is in reverse, okay, you're moving on. And it's finding that inner peace and giving acceptance or giving someone in your life forgiveness and grace. And I'm getting this more toward family, that there may have been some harsh words spoken over the holiday season. And this is you saying, you know what? I did what I could to fix the situation, and you may just be like, all right, this needs to heal before I say anything else. Okay? Down here in fire, this is your passion, and it's not only just sexual passion, it's your drive, your determination, your get up and go to get things done. And the first card we have for you is the High Priestess in the upright. There are a couple of ways I can interpret this. You may be depending on your intuition right now to find things to help you get that spark back, because so many of us in the collective are just feeling completely beat up, broken, and bruised right now. And that's going to continue for probably there's going to be a little bit of an energy shift in May. So things at the beginning of 2023 are going to be pretty rough. And this is you realizing that you need to find what brings you joy. And right now, the High Priestess is about mystery. So it may be one of those things where she's kind of holding back you tapping into your intuition to find that passion and drive. She's kind of holding things back for a reason. Let's see if I can figure out why. Judgment in the reverse. If you are like passion has a good side and a bad side. So you can be very passionate, like love passion, or you can be very passionate about hating somebody as well. And that's the double edged sword with passion. It depends on where you're speaking from or coming from in your heart. And right now, you may just be feeling like a complete failure and feeling like you don't really want to take on anything. You don't want to take on anything new. You can't find your way out of a tough spot right now. So, especially when you've got like these healing energies, you may be, the high priestess may be saying, you know what, slow your roll. You need to take a break. You need to heal. You need to dial back and take care of you in the process, because a lot of times in relationships and in love, we don't love ourselves in the process. And yeah, the Six of Cups, this could be an old energy coming back toward you, and other words, someone that left you up here, left you feeling really kind of bruised and broken, maybe trying to come back. And the high priestess is kind of telling you, yo, wait a minute. You need to focus on kind of being independent right now and not depending on somebody else for your happiness, or depending on somebody else to get you um, up and out of bed. Okay. This is a time for you to kind of like, all right, settle into the silence, settle into that need to stay grounded so that you can get your passion and your mojo back. Because while Mercury is in retrograde, you're just topsy turvy. And that's this kind of shifting back and forth of these energies so far that I'm really picking up. Over here in Earth, this is your career, your finances, the home, your roof over your head, providing for your family. It's also having the resources, money, food, whatever that is, to support yourself and your family if you have a family. And let's see what we got here. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is in reverse. You may have been kind of frivolous, especially coming out of the holidays. You may have spent too much money and you're feeling the pinch. You could have gotten your first utility bill after the holidays and went, holy smokes, how in the heck am I going to pay this? And because when the Nine of Pentacles is in the upright, this is you being able to be independent and stand on your own 2 feet and provide for you yourself. You may have made some poor choices with money or your living situation, and now you're having to depend on charity, help, grace from others to be able to provide and take care of the bills and everything that you have coming in. The Magician is in reverse. You have a lot of talent and ability to make money that you have not tapped into yet. The Magician in reverse is unrealized, untapped potential. And you have a lot of that, okay? But it's also a card of poor planning. And this is a poor planning with your finances. You may have, gotten a notice that you need to move and you had not planned for that eventuality, something like that. You had not planned for everything, all the prices of everything to be so high. So you're really having to watch your pennies. The Two of Cups in the upright. This is having to have a balanced viewpoint with your money, with your home. If you are in a committed relationship, like a partnership or a marriage, because the Two of Cups can, it's also, the Two of Cups can be you having a unified approach with how money is spent, or you are going to tap into, advice from someone you love, either within the house. It could be, and when I say household, this could be, if you're still at home or having to live with parents, it could be you asking about that. It could be you and roommates. It could be you and a significant other. You will have the resources, but you may have to look to that for a little bit of help somewhere along the way. It could also be the fact that you realize that you and your partner realize, you know what, as long as we've got each other, we don't need a bunch of the other, you know, nice to have stuff like, brand new tennis shoes that you want to spend $200 on. Or you're saying, you know what? I don't need those tennis shoes, but we do need to pay the bills. And you're both making those decisions together because you did not do the proper planning when it comes to, everybody is like one paycheck away from disaster just about right now. And you're not feeling alone in that, Virgo. So let's come up here to air, which is your creativity, your learning, the acquiring of knowledge, and it's also your ability to communicate effectively. And since your ruling planet's in retrograde, you know what that means. And Mercury retrograde usually messes up communications on all levels of life, okay? And the first one up is the Ace of Pentacles. And you may be coming to the realization that, because this is knowledge gained, you having the realization, you know what, my job isn't doing it for me, I need to find something different. There could be realizations coming to you about relationships where, you know what, this ain't feeding my soul and this is more trouble than it's worth. This may be you having your eyes opened to new opportunities. It could be you having your eyes open to missed opportunities because we had the Magician here in reverse. Let's keep going here. The Six of Pentacles in the upright. This is giving that balance. It's you giving to things where there is equal give and take back. You are tired of lopsided stuff, okay, where you feel like you're doing all the work. And you may actually voice that, you know what? I feel like I'm doing all the work, I'm doing all the planning, I'm doing all this, that, and the other. And you're voicing that. Say you need to step up to somebody that's in your life. You may also say, you know what, I'm cutting you loose because you're not there in that equal give and take. Okay. And the King of Wands in reverse. You have, in general, Virgo, you have very high expectations. And you have high expectations on yourself, but you also have it with others. So that ties in here with that equal give and take, okay, in your relationships. And you may be making those decisions. You're going to be very forceful and say, you know what? Ain't doing it for me, ain't doing it for me. And I think this is just kind of reinforcing everything so far. Up here in spirit, that's your connection to the divine. You may have turned your back on the divine. You may have walked away. You may have said, you know what? If there was truly a higher power, why in the hell are you putting me through all this ish? And it could be that, something on your path just isn't isn't speaking to you anymore. You're feeling very removed and detached. Um, and it may be just letting go of relationships that keep you from connecting to source and connecting to that higher power to maintain your sense of equal give and take and balance. Because Virgo, you like that security. You're an earth sign. You like that security and the knowing that things, you have an equal partner. There is an equal footing there. And you may have, an ending of a relationship may have just kind of made you feel like, you know what? Why did I go through all this kind of things, and have you questioning yourself? And if your path that you're on doesn't speak to you, you know what? Maybe it's time to take a little diversion off the path. Maybe it's time to find other ways to connect to that higher power and to connect to source. Especially if you're a magical practitioner. If you're feeling disconnected from source and from universal energy and that divine creator energy, that's the source of our power. And you could be why you're feeling so lost. It could just be you're feeling so lost and wanting to walk away and turn your back on everything because your ruling planet's in retrograde right now. But usually, Virgo, you're more visceral than that. You think things through a little bit more than that. So let's see where we're going here. Yeah, you feel like the divine turned their back on you almost. And you're you may have found out about, because this is when it's in reverse, this is the one of those betrayal kind of things. This is, cheater, pumpkin eater kind of thing. Um, you also, because over the holidays, you may have felt particularly detached, and you may have neglected relationships that you should have been feeding. Um, yeah. This is, and you notice you've got three water cards. This is you realizing you need to take action to get stuff back into balance in your life. I need one more up here. Yeah. Somebody was dishonest or betrayed you, and it really rocked you to your core, and it felt you shook, and you may have went, you know, a lot of times when we go through a lot of adversity and things of that nature, we tend to say, oh, why me? And you may have turned your back on your spirituality because of that. Um, you're not going to feel that sense of center and that sense of security until you get back to source and get back to that universal, tapping into that universal creator um, energy. So let's get three more across the middle for Virgo for January 2023. We have the Ten of Pentacles. This is a focus on financial security, family. Um, you could possibly be coming into some money through an inheritance. So if the reason that you feel like things kind of got all out of kilter was due to the passing of a loved one and you inheriting something, or somebody cut you out and you didn't inherit something, may have kind of factored into all this. But I'm seeing a more stable financial footing coming because you're really starting to realize what's important and what's not. The Three of Wands. This is having self doubt, feeling like a lack of foresight, because this guy's standing here at the shore waiting for his ship to come in. And you may have felt like a major failure, and had a lot of self doubt about your choices. And as long as you are able to self evaluate and reflect and find where you need course correction, things are going to resolve and get back on a much more stable footing. Uh, the Page of Swords is reminding you to not be careless with or defensive with your words. And remember, um, a lot of people have a hard time communicating well, and misunderstandings can happen while Mercury is in retrograde. And we've got a lot of big shifting energies in play right now. And don't let sometimes the Three of Wands, when it comes to like planning for the future, you start obsessing and you get that analysis paralysis. In Virgo, you're one that can analyze something to death. And that's one of the shadow sides of Virgo, is that you can suffer from analysis paralysis. And usually Virgos, when you're on your game, it's like, I'm a Leo. I have the big ideas. I would love to hand it off to a Virgo to put the plan in action, because they're can do kind of people and they are the planners. And if you had a lack of planning, you're really out, literally, quote unquote, out of your element. And that may be coming back, you having that self awareness, to realize that that could have come back, a lack of planning could have come back to bite you in the hiney during 2022. So, with that, that's where I'm going to leave it, Virgo. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the Witch's Cauldron and becoming a member. As I always say, Virgo, merry we did meet, merry we will part until we merry meet again. Be well and walk in life and light, guys. Bye.